Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Some few hours ago, the president was so bold, so excited to tell Nigerians that they have met their target. In fact, literally was telling the president of the United States that he should day his day because Nigeria is doing well and they may not have any need to borrow anymore. Nigerians were excited, and many Nigerians were really excited. Of course, some analysts have decided to explain one or two of the reasons. There's no particularly that they have met target over the issue of revenue, but comparatively to the previous year, they have surpassed even the expectation. Trust PeterObi, who have studied the economy and all have decided to do yes. Said, whoa, this is good news, because the likes of Onanuga took time to explain that PeterObi and Atiku Abubakar will never say well done to the president, especially when they see that things like Naira has stabilized. Well, PeterObi have decided to speak. And this is what he's got to say. But before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. He said, according to PeterObi, he said, what does achieving revenue target mean to Nigerians? He said the president has announced that our nation's revenues target for the year has now been achieved by August, which could mean a stabilizing economy. Congratulations, Mr. President. But Mr. President, if indeed the economy stabilizes as you declared, then Nigerians must feel it in their daily lives. Borrowings must stop now. Huge contractors' bills which are still owed should be paid, and critical underfunded projects must now be funded. Our educational facilities and hospitals are still in terrible condition. True economic stability is not in figures announced at press conferences, but in classrooms where children learn, in well-equipped labs, and access to learning tools, in hospitals where citizens can receive quality care equipped with adequate facilities. For the next 4 months, every value of our excess revenue should be deliberately channeled into the critical areas of development. That's a strong one. Now, he said, for the next 4 months, since August, we have surpassed our target. He's not saying for the next 4 months, that's September, October, November, December, that every value of our excess revenue is now in excess should now be deliberately channeled into critical areas of development, which is health, education, and pulling people out of poverty. This must be done transparently with verifiable and measurable outcomes. Anything less will mean that revenue growth has not translated into national growth. Nigerians deserve to see the impact of this thwarted revenue growth. Wow. Of course, he said a new Nigeria is possible, PO. I don't know how the president will come out of this one, because he said that he has surpassed target. He has met the target ahead of time. And he said, okay, fine. If you have met the target, this is good news. Which means between now and December, we are going to be having excess in the revenue. Can you start doing the needful by pushing them in where we need all these things, like the facilities you mentioned, educational, health, and all that, and also pay those who are owing the contract? My colleague is in the house. What's your take? This is PeterObi tackling there, but of course, he did mention congratulations to him. What's your take on this particular analysis from PeterObi?
Well, I would say congratulations to Mr. President also, but there are some issues that we have to deal with. One of it is whatever that seems to be surplus, how are you able to channel it such that it impacts in the every life of Nigerian? What have you been able to do?
We shouldn't even be borrowing.
You understand? What have you been able to do such that at the end of the day, the people will look back and say, I think life is getting better. I think those are the key things that the president should be more focused on. Rather than coming out to tell Nigerians we've surpassed our revenue, it doesn't change anything. It's like you coming out to announce, I don't make money to those that you have never given money to. It doesn't make any sense. For me, if the president believes he has surpassed his revenue budget, the ideal thing to do is to begin to pour in the surplus of those monies into areas that needs urgent attention. For example, insecurity is still something that Nigerians are still dealing with. Deal with insecurity and pour in excess money into it. Secondly, he has been giving very bloated budgets to new roads that he claims he wants to do it. Sir, please forget about that. For example, the road leading from Lagos State to Calabar, the old road. Since you have surplus now, push in money there for speedy repair, because we are entering into the Ember month, festive month, that most Nigerians will be using that road. So if you can do such, and also see how you can build possibly some substation around and sub-security stations in those environments to curb insecurity on the roads, Nigerians will come up. For example, there's a particular road leading from, I've been watching it in, I think Southeast Edo State, that area of Edo. Their roads are something unthinkable. I think if you deal with that, thumbs up to you. And it's not just dealing with it, making sure that you follow up when you tell the Minister of Works, do this, do this, do this, do this. Make sure that there is a team that is monitoring how far he's achieving them. Because those are some of the things that will make Nigerians do that on the basis of your performance. Nigerians will rate you. When the time for performance review comes, Nigeria will look at those things that you've been able, that directly touches the lives of people. We see, one of the things about leadership of governance is try to stay away from too much English. 1 + 1, that's why a lot of people love mathematics. 1 + 1 is 2. It's not 1 + 1. When 1 comes to join with 1, and no, 1 + 1 is 2. If you say, they said Calabar to road is bad, you fix it. Enugu road is bad, you fix it. You go to the other ones. We don't need you. Ibadan, you understand? You fixed it. That's what Nigerians want. You don't look at all Nigerians in the face and say, please, can you tell me any university teaching hospital that does not have so number of equipment? Can you tell me where in Nigeria where there is no pipe-borne water? Those are some of the things that Nigerians really want. And that will not just be you pushing in money and going to bed and rest and saying you've done it. The sub-regional leaders, talking about the governors, should be properly monitored. They should be giving you lowdown on what they have been able to do with the excess monies that you have been giving to them from, FAC account. These are some of the key areas that the president needs to look at. Whether he surpasses his revenue, for me, that did not come as a huge achievement. I tell you the whole truth. It didn't come. If the only time that will come as something, what talk about is if the president said, we've been able to pay off all our loans. We are really free. We are not owing any money again. That's when Nigerians will celebrate. And because of that, we are not owing any money. Okay, you guys are going to start seeing impact of it in different areas. I mean, that will give us so much joy. But to come and tell we have surpassed our it's like you coming to announce that you have been able to complete your house. How does it impact on the life of the other guy who's passing by the road? He's not interested whether you've completed your house or not. What you should tell him is the things that actually affect him directly. And that's what every common man in Nigeria is earnestly desiring. At the end of the day, we look back and we say, yes, President Bola Tinubu has done much.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your